So you'd think it'd be important to point out the various ways in which Judge Bosberg has been engaged in bad behavior, right? I mean, that's rather the point here. And that, unfortunately, is where I think this resolution falls short. I wish they had called me when they were drafting this, but there we go. So, James Bosberg, Chief Judge of the United States District Court for the District of Columbia, should be removed for failing to maintain the standard of good behavior required of judges under Section 1, Article 3 of the Constitution. And the following article of removal should be exhibited in the U.S. Senate after the House approves it. What are the grounds? Abuse of power. Judge Bosberg, in violation of his oath of office, did knowingly and willingly use his judicial position to knowingly interfere with the president's constitutional prerogatives and enforcement of the rule of law, and he did it for political gain. The Constitution grants Congress the authority to create, eliminate, and regulate all federal courts inferior to the Supreme Court. That is true. Article 3, Section 1, the first sentence reads, the judicial power of the U.S. shall be vested in one Supreme Court. That's the one court actually created by Article 3, and in such inferior courts as the Congress may from time to time ordain and establish. So all the inferior courts, meaning every court other than the Supreme Court, the district trial courts, the federal courts of appeal, immigration courts, tax courts, bankruptcy courts, patent courts, all of these are creations of Congress. And they can create them and dissolve them and constrain them however they wish. Congress creates specialty courts like bankruptcy courts and specifically removes jurisdiction for those cases, for that subject matter, from the federal district trial courts. So Congress is free to define the jurisdiction of any of these courts as it wishes. And of course, these judges shall hold their offices during good behavior, thereby granting Congress the authority to remove a judge who fails to remain in good behavior. That has to be the consequence of that phrase, that tenure limitation, tenure in Article 3, Section 1 of the Constitution.